So really, what does a dad, or what does a daughter really need from a dad? Well, one of the things is daughters need their dads to nurture them. Because if daughters are different, then there's some other things going on. So what happens is, with little boys, and I know this from growing up, brothers, 2 older brothers, is we did a lot of fighting. And it wasn't just verbal fighting, it was fighting and hitting each other and knocking around and all this kind of stuff that was the way that we found out about, if there's something going on, that's how we fixed it, with a physical activity. But I found out when I looked at girls and had my daughters, I started to find out that they did a whole different thing. That they would fight, and it could get ugly. But they would fight in more of a mental way, and they would be all about feelings and all about how you got hurt, and you didn't a lot of times know because it was just different. Like with the guys, the boys, if you come home with a back eye, guess what? There was something happened. Maybe dad should figure this out. But with the girls, there's this big kind of knot, and I don't know, I'm a dad, right? Well, it's nice to think about that, learn about that, and ask some right questions, and actually help your daughter in those kind of situations. She needs nurturing and comforting, and she also needs you many times to unpack it, because we as men will kind of think things. I even said it when I was speaking, and women kind of feel their way through. I want to talk about that right now. We'll talk about that later. But in this nurturing, we need to get a sense that girls are different than boys. So Dad, think about her and how you would nurture her and how you would nurture maybe her brother. Well, the other thing is we need to kind of study girls. The interesting thing about girls, if you want to know something about them, just listen, because they'll be jabbering and telling, and they got all kinds of stuff going on, and so you just kind of, if you can just get in that stream of consciousness, and it's almost just this stream, jabber, 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 just coming through. So if you can kind of get into the stream, Dad, she'll let you know what's going on. So dear old Dad goes and picks up the kids at grade school. So in comes son, in comes daughter. Son probably forces his way to be in the front seat, right? Anyway, daughter's in the back. So the dad looks at the son and he says, well, how was your day? Fine. What did you do? Nothing. Well, you must have done something. Did you have math? Yeah. And you get the idea. How much information? Could have been a good day, could have been a bad day. The weird thing is, it could have been a great day, and the answers were the same, and it could have been a terrible day, and the answers were the same. Now you ask your daughter, and you say, well, how was your day? And all of a sudden, man, the teacher was this, and this was going on there, and then we did recess, and I was talking to my best friend, and then we did this math thing, and I don't even like math, but this was pretty cool, and then we were reading. Oh, this story was so cool. It was about this blah, 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 blah. So what can you do, Dad? You can study her, understand her, get into her stream, and understand what's going on. Or you can just zone out, listen to the radio, sit there, drive the car. You're going to get home anyway. But from my perspective, from my thought process, if she's going to give you all this information, you might as well listen and interject. All you have to do is from time to time say, and add some questions and let her go. But also get in that stream, because you can start a real relationship, because she's already ready to go. She's primed for a relationship. So the other thing can happen too, of course. With the son, back to the son, good day, bad day, nothing, nothing, nothing. Now the daughter's in the back. How was your day? Fine. Well, what did your teacher say today in terms of whatever it was? Doesn't say hardly anything. Then we know, all of a sudden, since you've seen how she acts normally, it's a good time to say, well, what do we need to talk about here? What do we need to communicate? So that's another thing of studying her and understanding there. And then the other thing is, it's a real natural dad thing, and that's teaching your daughter. And like I said, it's a real dad thing because we really like to talk about skills and driving cars and riding bikes and playing football and soccer and just teaching things. Here's how you do things. We like to fix things. We like to fix things and people. Sometimes fixing people is a little different than fixing things. But we like to fix. Well, your daughter needs those skills, and you can use those relationships or those interactions to build a relationship because it's something she wants. So looking for those opportunities, if she needs help with her homework, do it. Get engaged. Get in the stream. And the other part of this is that she has things that she would like to teach you. Maybe she could help you in terms of being a little bit better dresser, which, as I can see, some of you need. That's another story. But what happens with this is that when you're doing the tea party, you might actually find out that this is a pretty fun thing. Because she starts playing it sets up this whole thing. It's just kind of crazy. It's kind of back when kids are playing with toys where the cars, if it's boys that are playing with cars, they're ramming them into walls. At least it doesn't take very long till they're ramming into walls. So they got them on Hot Wheels and they're loop-to-looping and whoosh, as far as they can go. And if all else fails, you could blow them up or burn them or something like that. But with girls, they'll start looking at cars, and all of a sudden it's an early version of the Cars movie where they've got personalities, and this car is a girl car, and this is a boy car, and then they're acting out all these plays and all this stuff. Well, you don't know that this is happening if you don't take time to enter her world. So if you can learn to teach her things and let her teach you things, what's starting to happen, Dad, is you're having a relationship with your daughter. And that's a lot of what we're going to be talking about as we move forward, is this relationship between you and your daughter. That's where a lot of it starts. So we're talking about ways to build relationships and how, like I talked about, girls are different than boys. And that's okay. That's a good thing.